This will be a quick check over questions 4 and 5 that you were supposed to have completed by today. So if I'm sending you this video, it's because you need to correct something. So go to whatever section you need to correct. So on number 4, your variables, you should have wrote that your variables is money and the number of months. And your independent variable for this problem will be the months. Remember, time is always independent. You cannot stop time. And money is always going to be your dependent. So for your unit rate, you should have 240 divided by 4, which would give you $60 per month. Okay, so in your table, remember your X goes on the top, then the Y. So these will be our months for independent and our money on the bottom. So for your months, you should have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For your money, for 0 months would be $0. For 1 month would be your 60, that's your unit rate. 2 months would be 120. Another way you could do this is write your equation. Y equals, then you're going to fill in this blank with your unit rate, which would be 60x. So this means I'm going to multiply my x's by 60 to get the money. So for this next one, we have 3 times 60, which would be 180. 4 times 60, which would be 240. And 5 times 60, which would be 300. You do not have to do the summary. So then on your graph, you should have your origin, and then you're going to copy your table exactly like it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can count by 60s on this side. All of your graphs should be a straight line. If they are not a straight line, you did something wrong. Okay, and we need a label, months. Don't disappoint Miss Wallace. Okay, months, and then the money, the amount of money, okay? And this is going to be gym membership for your title. I'm going to try to squeeze it in there. Sorry, that's super tight. Okay, so for 0 months, it was 0. 1 was 60. 2 was 120. So you should see a pattern. That's the thing with ratios or with unit rate, is it creates a straight line because it's a constant value. Okay, so this is number 4. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. This was the most missed question that I saw throughout, and it was only because you have your independent and dependent backwards. Remember, our time is always independent. You cannot stop time. So we have hours and miles for our independent and dependent. So that should be what you wrote for your variables as well. Okay, so for our unit rate, whatever your dependent is will be on top, 20, divided by the 2.5. And you can use a calculator for that. You should have got 8 miles per hour. That's what. So up here, we know our hours go on top because those are independent. Our miles go on the bottom because they are our dependent. So if I rode for 0 hours, 0 miles. So I'm going to move to the 1 hour would be 8. So remember, to get from here to here, 5/10 is the same as a half. Okay, so half that time would be 4 miles. And then 1 whole hour plus a half would be 12. And then here would be 16, because this would be times 2. And then this one is actually in the problem, which was 20. So your equation is y equals 8x, okay? This has to be your unit rate. You must have the x as well. Okay, then for your graph, you should have 0. And then you should also have the exact same labels. So we're going to do 0, 5/10, 1, 1 and 5/10, 2, 2 and 5/10, and this is our hours. Okay, and then over here we can count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. This is our miles. And then you're going to graph that. So we have 0, 0, a half is 4, 1 is 8. You should see that same pattern that you've seen on every single one. And then we're going to connect that, make a line, and remember, whoops, I did a really bad job there. There we go. Put that arrow at the end because could I ride more than 2.5 hours? Yes, so that means it continues. Okay, that's all. I hope this helped you correct your answers.